Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Lens TV. It's your girl Najah Lee, and we right here with her court, her rules. This is episode 2. I got a special guest for y'all, so get ready. We're gonna have some great conversation, some high-level conversation about women's basketball, specifically the WNBA. So we about to get right into it. I'm gonna introduce my host for today, my co-host, my man's Hussle, representing that up top you heard.
Big
Go
upstate
ahead and
New
let the
York
people
shit,
know where
man.
who you representing, where you coming from, and a little bit about yourself, and why you love women's basketball.
Yeah, man. What up, bro? It's your boy Hussle from Buffalo, New York, man. Big upstate New York. I'm repping the Knicks. Repping the Knicks. That's
Big
closest to the
Knicks.
upstate, that we got. So I'm rocking with the Knickerbockers. I love love the WNBA. Love the women's college basketball. Um, I've been watching women's basketball for a very long time now. So my first game, I actually went to a WNBA game. My first game, I went to go see the Charlotte Sting. I don't remember who they played, to be honest. I was like a young teenager, but I know I was in Charlotte with my uncle, Charlotte Sting. That's when I got introduced, and to Dawn Staley as well. So that been my favorite player, ever since. I know she a coach now, but I've been rocking with her ever since. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
man, I got a niece that play basketball. She played AAU high school basketball. She played varsity. I helped train her, coach her. I'm actually gonna be coaching this summer AAU high school basketball. So
Nice.
I love the women, man. I love women basketball, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, okay, you love the women. I know that's right. You better
Yeah, well,
love these
I
black
love the
women and
women, but
whatnot.
but I had to hop on here with you, man. I had to hit because we already talked about this anyway. We talked, on
Exactly.
the phone already, on Twitter. We already had these conversations. So, when I seen that you was gonna do the podcast, I'm like, man, I gotta hop on there.
Facts. And I appreciate you always checking in and definitely supporting the Freer Lens movement.
For
We
sure.
about to get right into it. I
Get
mean,
it.
he already told y'all, how he got into the game, how he got into the sport of WNBA, obviously following one of our GOATs and Dawn Staley.
Mm-hmm.
And, she came into that class, that brand new, fresh WNBA class,
Yeah.
still wet behind her ears. The league was raw. It was
Yeah.
brand new. And
Mm-hmm.
so just to be, 29 years on the other end of like the season
Yeah.
opener of like season 1, and now
Yeah.
we're, all these years later, it's just remarkable to see, where the game is today. And, shout
Yeah.
out to all the women, shout out to all the minds that's going in to definitely make this sport and make this league trend upward. So speaking of the minds, right, we're gonna get right into it. This episode is breaking down the Commissioner's Cup, right? So we got some extra little bonuses that we're gonna talk about, but it's dominantly based on the Commissioner's Cup. We only got about 3 days of games into the cup, and a lot of people don't know. We watch these games because we like the teams and we love the W, but we don't really know what the cup is about, how they break down the records, who plays who. If you won the cup, are you a bid for winning the W championship, the final, that big kahuna? We
Yeah.
don't know yet, but it's a lot of irony around if you win the cup and potentially winning the championship for that year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that, and we got a special segment that we're gonna dive into, and definitely these past 2 weeks is perfect to talk about our unsung sheroes. Those ladies that's
Mm-hmm.
balling, that they might not be dropping 30 a night, but what they do on the court should definitely be recognized and highlighted. So we're gonna talk about some of those players, and then we got a couple extra bonuses that we're gonna throw in for you. So let's get right into it. What is the Commissioner's Cup? The Commissioner's Cup is presented by Coinbase. It's an annual in-season competition featuring a 36-game schedule from June 1st through June 17th. Each team from each conference with the top record in the Commissioner's Cup games will compete for $500,000 prize pool in the Commissioner's Cup Championship, presented by, again, Coinbase. In addition, Coinbase has committed $120,000 in cryptocurrency to the prize pool, which includes $5,000 for each player in the championship game. Okay. So let's break that down. We got 500,000 plus each player is going to get an additional $5,000 just for competing in the championship game. And that title game will be on July 1st. This is all during the season, guys. So, like, we're watching these games. We pulling up our ESPN app. If you signed on to the WNBA League Pass, which you should be, you're going to get those alerts. You're going to get those emails. Give me that email. That's the one email that I don't send to spam. I need to know who playing tonight. Okay. For real. So the Commissioner's Cup is not it's a very new in-season tournament. It's kind of like similar to like March Madness a little bit. Although, you know, the WNBA doesn't need you to throw fuel on the fire so the women hint can play harder. Okay. Right. That's throwing shade to other leagues. We don't need to say, hey, we'll give you an additional cherry, you know, just to see y'all play harder. One thing about the women, first of all, if you put an extra 500,000 bag on their head, so the competition is
gonna go up automatically.
It's gonna go up, especially when, like, what you say, who was the highest paid WNBA athlete right now?
Jackie Young, as of right now, is the highest paid WNBA player as of right now.
And she's on like a $250,000 contract, something like that.
A little over 250. Yeah.
And how many years is that contract? You remember?
I don't remember, but it got to be probably about three years. That would give it like 75,000 a year around there.
All right. So think about that, y'all. The Cup's prize is 500,000.
Yeah.
Just making it to the final game of the championship cup, the championship game, you're getting an extra 5,000. I mean, for regular people like us, you put an extra 5,000 in my hand. I'm Oprah out here. I'm like, I'm going. What you want to do? Where we going today? We go wherever you want to go in the city. You feel me? And I'm sure they feel the same way. Even though the game isn't about the money itself, it's about the competition. It's about the bragging rights. But extra 500,000 to split amongst, it's only 11 to 12 players.
Yeah, and especially because the regular season salary cap is 1.5 million. You know, so I mean, and that's for the whole 50 games. I mean, 44 regular season games.
Yeah,
playoffs if you make the playoffs, but that is 1.5 for the 40 to 50 games, and then you telling me we just got to play 7 games depending on the conference you in. You know what I mean? About 6 to 8 games, depending on what conference you in, and then the team get an extra 500,000.
Come on,
like I'm going balling
that's
for
like,
that.
I mean, every season that need to be what the team is focused on. Respectfully, everybody want to win championships.
Right.
I need to win that in season championship, but not. I need that in season 500 though.
That's a fact.
So in 2025, the format changed a little bit because again, this in-season tournament is only 4 years old.
Yeah.
And we had some new teams. So with the addition of Golden State Valkyries, each team will play 1 game against the other teams in its conference. A total of 5 games for each of the 6 conference teams and 6 games for each of the 7 Western Conference teams. So the West teams got to play a little bit more. They got to play 1 extra game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as long as that extra game is staying on the West, they not tripping. I mean, you got to play the 44 games in the season regardless. So whether these games are allotted to the in-tournament games, it don't matter. The game still got to get played. The schedule is already set. And then in the case of a tiebreaker, it gets a little bit hairy. I don't know, over the last 4 years, have we even had like much tiebreaker?
I don't remember a tiebreaker. I think people just been straight up, dominating. You know
best record. I think the records have just been just like that. In 2024, we already know who won that. That just seemed like it happened just yesterday.
Yeah.
But if you weren't watching last year, the Minnesota Lynx won last year. And in a pretty close game, but it seemed to be exactly what we wanted because they played the Liberty. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the exact matchup we wanted to see, to be honest.
Yeah. So
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 best teams in the league right now and over the last 3-4 years, them two, and of course the Aces, so
Yeah.
I mean, you figure that game is going to be close. I don't really see them between them three teams blowing each other out.
Right.
I feel like it's always going to be a good game when it comes to that.
And that's the beauty, really, a little sidebar. That's really the beauty about the WNBA. Like, I really don't see where women are, you know what, I'm just going to take this game off.
Right.
Like, either you can really attribute bad play to a thing in the W. Like, oh, she's sick. Oh, she's battling a foot injury. Oh, but it's not really like, oh, they just left all their game in the locker room. So when you only have 44 games and last year you have 40 games, like literally every single game matters. Like, you don't really have the luxury of saying I'm gonna chill today, or you know what, if I'm Asia, you know what, Chelsea and Jackie got it. If I'm Fee, you know what, Courtney Williams, they're gonna figure it out. Allen, they're gonna go ahead and figure it out. Nah, you might have a squad and the support, but you still gotta play your game to the best of your abilities. So that support ain't just trying to carry the weight.
Right.
Because it is a lot. It's a lot to win a WNBA game. We see it now, right? So let's look at some of the teams that are facing some key injuries, like let's say Indiana.
Yeah.
Coming into the season, you're a New York fan. Shout out to you. Y'all won the championship last year.
Yeah, shout out to the Lips.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Shout out to the Lips.
Come on. They've been the one team putting on for New York outside of the Yankees forever.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
fact. The one team outside of the Yankees, for real.
Yeah,
for real.
Like, for real.
The Giants ain't doing nothing. Look, and what I'm rocking, so I ain't got nothing to say.
Right. And then that's the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants. I mean, I get that it's called New York, but they play in Jersey, man. So they play.
So what team, a football team, sidebar? So what football team do y'all support then if they not?
I mean, Buffalo. I mean, personally, the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's in New
York.
True.
You
know what I mean? Buffalo Bills. So
and they have been good. So
yeah, shout out to Bills Mafia, man. Shout out to
come
Mafia.
on now. If you're gonna hop on the bandwagon, you better be the one that's winning.
But people still, people from New York, because they're called the New York Giants and Jets. People still, represent, them teams. Me personally, I don't. Not for the reason of them playing in New Jersey. It's just, I live in Buffalo, so why not support the Bills? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a blue collar type of person, so I like the people that's gonna run through the wall, not the one that's gonna sit there and be like, let me call somebody and come knock the wall down.
Y'all can knock it down for me, right?
Yeah. I don't like that. Just run through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like with this Commissioner's Cup, we got some games. We had some games yesterday. We had some games on Sunday. I don't know which ones you caught. I know I caught let me go back to the schedule. Run it back. I caught the first half of the Dallas Wings and the Seattle Storm.
Yeah.
And then I caught the Mystics and the Indiana Fever. And that's what I was going to get into. Like, with the strength of the WNBA, because I feel like every team is improving. And every team year over year, I believe, has improved, aside from the ones, Connecticut. I mean, Dallas look good
on paper, bro.
In certain ways, but
on
it's just
paper, man. And when I first, before the season started, I looked at their roster, they get page. I'm like, oh yeah. What they have to win at least 20 games this year. This is last month when I'm saying this or whatever, but I'm like, they have to win at least 20 games, but 25. But I don't know. They're not really, but they are dealing with, the injury bug right now. We'll see. You got both of your guards out.
Yeah.
Both of your guards out. So that's definitely gonna, hamper the team no matter what. I mean, you got your two starters out, the two of the guys that's gonna play the most minutes outside of Enrique. Is hurt right now. So, and they still had a good game yesterday. It was definitely still a good game.
Yeah.
Yesterday. So I feel like they get it together.
Yeah, and like that just shows you how hard it is to win in a W. Like, in the NBA, especially during the regular season, a decent team can beat a great team on any night.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
It don't matter who you are. You can be the Brooklyn Nets, okay, and you can wash somebody. You can wash Indiana Pacers. They in the finals though. Brooklyn Nets, they didn't even stand a chance to make the play.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Cavs was washing everybody. I mean, we went on 3 win streaks of over 10 games each, right? So that just shows you that you can wash anybody in a regular season in the NBA,
right?
Based on roster construction alone, with or without injuries. It don't really matter.
Right.
Any given game, somebody, your superstar on that other team is either resting or just not showing up. Like, oh, this is so you know how your good competitions play down to that competition.
Right.
And I feel like you might see that in a W in a quarter or two. Like, for instance, like the Liberty got a bad habit of kicking your behind that first half and then just completely taking their foot off the gas. Same thing with the Lynx, just completely taking their foot off the gas. And in the fourth quarter, they be like, all right, let's go ahead and smack them on out of here.
Yeah.
And so they're showing you, like, regardless of how their roster looks on paper and how good, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be butter. We should Dallas. They should definitely. The way Indiana's roster looked with or without Caitlin Clark, just on paper, you like, ain't no way they about to be struggling against the Mystics or they about to be on a 4-game losing streak with or without Caitlin Clark.
Right.
But this is the W. Welcome to the W, where the competition is at its all-time high.
Yeah.
Every single game.
Every game.
Every single game. Even the All-Star game. Like, the All-Star game, it ain't like, yeah, we want to win, but I really want to bust you. Like, I really want to show you that I can give you 40 on my team, but I'm playing a team game.
Yeah. Enrique went crazy last year in the All-Star game. He
did. And Kelsey, remember, Kelsey Plummet went crazy too.
Yeah.
And they gave her that little bite-sized trophy. Remember that? I said, that looked like one of them little squishy things from the Dollar Tree. You little kids, like, oh, you did a good job. Take this little squishy thing home. I'm like, damn, why they give her that Dollar Tree ass trophy?
Yeah,
man? That's all right.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Plum.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm looking at the injury report now, and outside from the key players that, you know, we just discussed, and we had some that, like, Amore out of Washington Mystics, that, you know, she never even got a chance to step on the court this year. It looked pretty clean for a lot of people. Paige is gonna be coming back, maybe.
Yeah, because that's a concussion. So I mean, that's really like a day-to-day thing.
Yeah, I know they said she had to miss 2 games.
2 games, yeah, 2 games, no matter what, yeah.
And I think for men's, ain't it like 2 weeks?
Yeah, you know, because the men play more.
Yeah,
the men play more over a course of weeks.
Yeah,
you know, the women probably play 2 games. Depends on the week. I know this week, a lot of the teams are playing 3 times this week, which is going to help with the Commissioner's Cup rankings. It's going to help because they knock in 2-3 games out between yesterday and Sunday. But for the most part, it's kind of more spread out.
Yeah.
So 2 games might be 4 days, 5 days, compared to, you know, the NBA, which I just started hearing that. I don't even know what that's
about. Crazy.
Yeah, the NBA. I've been seeing that on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, what? I mean, I know what it is, but I'm like, where did that come from? But
we don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. Like, we don't need the M. We don't.
They started it. Like,
we don't need the M. Like, yeah, we don't need that. But you know, the difference, you know, they play every other day. They play back-to-backs. So it's more spread out, for sure.
So just a little recap on the Commissioner Cup's games yesterday. We had Washington versus Indiana. Anybody watch that game? That was a very close back and forth game, literally all game.
Yeah, came down to the end for sure.
But the impressive things that I'm seeing with Indiana, I'm seeing a great growth in Lexi Hall. I think she's just a phenomenal player. To be honest, I would love to have her on my aces. Oh,
yeah.
I would love but I love a player that can move without the ball. Like, don't wait on Caitlin. Like, Caitlin don't have to create every shot. You know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of talent, and if everybody is moving and the offense is doing what it's supposed to do,
right,
buckets come easy. Buckets come easy.
Yeah.
I think a team like the Aces is learning that the hard way as well. Like the first 4 games, it just seemed like they was dribbling too much. I ain't gonna even hold you. They was dribbling too much. Everybody want to take their man one-on-one. And I'm sorry, it's only 2 people that can really bust your A on the Aces team. It's 2.
Yeah.
Everybody else, fall in line. In line, move without the ball.
Move without the ball.
Minnesota last night in dominant fashion just obliterated Phoenix.
And it's crazy because the first quarter it was kind of
it was close.
And this goes back to what you were saying a little earlier when it's like, they kind of like, oh, we're gonna ease into this game, especially with Phoenix yesterday. They dealing with some injuries too.
Yeah.
So starting, they had 3 undrafted rookies starting yesterday. So for them, Minnesota, they probably was like, oh, you know what, they got the backups and backups in, and they rookies, oh, we good. It was close. It was close the first quarter, and then they just blew it open.
And I be like,
it open.
Kalia, she been out for a minute.
Yeah,
she hasn't played a game.
She ain't played
yet.
No, she ain't played yet.
So. Yeah, I ain't think so.
She
That's
ain't played
crazy.
yet. Yeah,
that's wild.
She ain't played yet. AT, she ain't played the last few games either, like 3-4 games either. So injuries. But to go back, Ari McDonald, to go back to the Fever real quick.
Yeah, let's go.
You would have thought that she'd been on the team. They signed her on the hardship contract. Yep. So she's only in because Caitlin and Sophie is injured right now. So they signed her on the hardship contract. So the thing with that is, like, once they do come back, what they gonna do with Ari though?
They cut her. But that's the dark side
and
about
that's
it.
Crazy.
That's the dark side about it.
If she help you win, because she definitely was the reason they won yesterday. Like, it's hands down. AB did her thing. Shout out to A. No, she only had 5, not 5 points. I think it was like 5 attempts, 5 free. Like, AB ain't do nothing yesterday. She played good defense. I'm not gonna say she wasn't like, she wasn't bad. She just wasn't good.
Yeah.
She's always in foul trouble, which she got to figure that out. She's always in foul trouble. So it really wasn't AB, but Ari, like, I'm watching the game, like, you would have thought she'd been on the team for only been, a week, 8 games, 7, 8 games. So it's like, okay, but still, you would have thought she'd been on the roster through training camp and everything. Yeah, exactly. She getting steals, she drawing charges, offensive foul. I'm like, this girl. So that's the one thing I don't like about, we had probably touch on this in another episode or whenever, but the roster size, man, it has to expand. Yeah, it has to. So many good players that got cut, that gets cut.
Yeah.
Every season because they only hold 12, and then they could hold 12, and most teams don't even do 12. They stick at about 11.
Exactly.
Like, if they cut her, which they're probably going to do it, that's messed up because I feel like she's going to help them win at least 3 games. I don't know how long she's going to be there, how long, the other girls are out, but she's going to help them at least 2-3 more games. Now, I'm not even including yesterday. 3 more games, I got her helping them win.
And it's like you said, it's the sad part, but, like, she got cut from the Sparks. First of all, I don't think that, I've been watching her since she played for Arizona. I mean, the girl really got...
Yeah, my girl, yeah.
She got hella game, right? Now, we say that about most, like, 90% of the women that get cut from a team. We like, damn, she got, like... But I'm looking at their roster, and I mean, I'm like, okay, there's no shade to nobody, right? Because I love the W, and it's not a real player that, like, I just think they trash.
I
think everybody like you say in the NBA, like, everybody got game. You got to have game to make it here.
At least make it, yeah.
But I don't know how Sydney Colson keep getting a job. I just don't know. I just don't know.
She got busted up pretty bad yesterday too. She did. And
she I think good, that though, like, I know what she did for the Aces, those moments when Chelsea was gone, right? What she did in the playoffs in crunch time moments, like, she's a player that definitely can step up and elevate to fulfill whatever role, that you need of her. However, that's somebody I'm gonna call on a hardship contract. Yeah. You feel me? Like, because McDonald can run your offense at the same pace of Caitlyn. You don't need somebody who's going to completely change the identity of your team. Lexi want to run. Bonner wants to run. Cunningham wants to run. Howard wants to run. Poston, get the ball up the court, but like I need somebody to be similar to Caitlyn in a manner that the same quickness.
Yeah.
On top of, I need somebody that can help in Caitlyn's deficiencies, as in her defense. Whereas McDonald, as we saw yesterday, she's all over the court. She loves playing defense. She loves, and I don't mind her catching. She caught a couple little fouls yesterday, just playing hard. I don't mind that.
Right.
One thing Caitlyn not gonna do, is play some defense. Okay, and like you got AI it's AI because he crossed over that man.
Yeah.
And he would have gave anybody that. But you ain't calling AI to go stop him. You know.
He had a great team around him for that. He had Eric Snow. He had Aaron McKee, Ty McCullough. He had players around him for that. He just they could hide him. You know, they could hide him. Yeah.
And by him being a lot smaller than everybody else, they really had to. even if he had D. You 6'1", you 6'1", like we gotta hide you regardless.
Yeah.
And that's back in where like the average point guard was about 6'3". You know what I mean? Like now you look at the point guard, like Caitlin Clark, she not short.
No.
Like I look at the game now and I'm like, there's no way I can play in a W.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like I look at Skylar Diggins. I watched the game last night and I'm like, Skylar Diggins sitting up here like this.
Yeah, she swole.
She a guard. She ripped.
She swole. Yeah, she is.
And I'm like, dog, you got it.
Yeah.
you need a cup of water. You need anything?
Like, but I feel like she had to do that. She had to do that over time because she came in the league small.
Exactly.
You know, she was small. Like, so I feel like she like, oh, these girls ain't playing. I gotta bulk up a little bit. You got to.
Exactly. You know what she said that this is Skylar Diggins. She said that it was her playing in Seattle and playing or watching Sue Bird, right? Just watching how Sue Bird conditions, just watching the fact that she's still in the league, busting your ass. Like, don't matter. And she was like, I want to be that. Like, I want to be 20 years from now, still super fit. Still, you know, you have those players like in the NBA, everybody looks to LeBron. Like, how is he still doing this?
Yeah.
At 40,
21,
23 years in the league. Like, well, he got 21 straight all team, like NBA all teams, like
all teams, all-star games, all
it's
that.
It's just ridiculous what you know, one player has dominated his generation, his class. And it's not even close. Like,
no, it's not.
You can say like, well, such and such don't play the same, you know, position, and so look at what they did, but it don't even matter. Like, regardless of position,
you talk about dominating.
Set the bar of this is what you need to do to be a professional in this league. And so shout out to the vets and the OGs of the WNBA that definitely, especially the ones that still stick around the league and maybe not just stick around for the commentary, but really stick around to help advance the league.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first person to come to my mind when we talk about GOAT talk, right? First person to come to my mind is somebody like a Candace Parker.
Yeah.
And it's not even what she's done while she was suited up in a WNBA uniform on the court, giving you whatever. Defensive player of the year, rookie of the year. I mean, whatever. 3-time champ, whatever you want to do. But it's what she's done since she's retired that I think is the most impactful thing, because we see she ain't the first person that retired, right? We see a lot of women that retire from the league and just really like step away. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really hear from them.
Like, where they at? Yeah.
Yeah, like they not training, you know, like, you know, you go to the NBA, right? We look at somebody like Hakeem Olajuwon, right? And everybody know he coming to the Houston games and all that, but they know that he's training big men off season. Yeah. They're going to see him and say, yo, I've been training with the dream. Like,
for sure.
And you like to see that, like Lisa Leslie, coming back and training somebody like an
Angel Reese, yeah.
And I don't know about you, it looked good.
Yeah.
The girl bringing the ball down the court.
Yeah, I want to say a little point forward. Yeah.
The girl, I said
comfortable.
And I would have never thought I would say like Angel Reese be dropping dimes.
Yeah, she do. Yeah, she do.
But when they first put her and Cardoso together, I said the only thing that I see from them, I mean, and this is a big thing, is I see a Tim Duncan and a David.
And David Robinson.
That's what I said.
Listen, that's crazy you said that, bro, because I was watching the game last week, and I was gonna tweet that. That was gonna be like a hot take for me. Yeah. I just didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I'm gonna do it now because I'm thinking about it again. I think I was in the middle of the game, and I don't know. Knowing me, I'm probably eating at the time or whatever, so I didn't do it. But that was the thing. I'm like, yo, they really remind, because I feel like last year, they had to get used to each other. Playing, because they both in the paint, but Angel could play out with the paint a little bit. Yeah. But Angel, the one thing I like about Angel though is that she's a willing passer. Yeah. She's a willing. If she see you open, like you were saying, she could dime. She got dimes. Know, so that's definitely I could see that. Once they get comfortable, and Camilla, the whole thing with Camilla, like this year, I see her kind of stepping out of her shell a little bit. Yeah. She's more aggressive this early part of the season than she was last year. I felt South Carolina is, in college is like, she was playing, but I feel like her first year, I mean, she was injured last year too, though. Yeah. So that could have been it.
True. And that team, and the team last year, I mean, it was just in complete disarray. So it's like,
now they got a new, even though I'm psyched too because I like Teaspoon.
I love Teaspoon.
I love Teaspoon. So I don't really know what happened with that. Obviously, that I feel like that had to be an internal thing because even Angel was like, I love Coach Spoon. So I don't really know what happened. But this year they're dealing with a new coach, so they got to get that together.
Facts. I think with like we're fans of South Carolina, right? Shout out to the Gamecocks. Shout out to Dawn Staley.
Gamecocks, yep.
Camilla's first 2 years there, I mean, she was under Aaliyah Boston. So she really didn't play those first 2 years. She was getting in the game a little bit here and there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she wasn't really playing. And then if you listen to Dawn talk about Camilla, she said, like, we really had to, like, push her to, like, you got it. Like, you got everything that it takes to be the girl you want to be on the court. You just got to be it now. Like now you got the game. You just got to be it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that coaching plays a huge role, especially when you're transitioning different leagues, different systems. Like coaching will either make you or break you.
True.
When you're coming into your rookie season, and not just the coaching staff is all over the place, but the entire organization is all over the place. Mm-hmm. Don't nobody want to come there. It's bad papers. Everybody like, nah, Chicago, they messy over there. I'm out. You know what I mean? So as a rookie, you like, I'm just going to do what I can do. Mm-hmm. And then you got injuries, so it's like, it's only so much you can do.
So much. Mm-hmm.
Now this year, coming off her playing in the summer, playing for her people, you feel me? Like she's getting more comfortable in just her game on a professional level, because each time you transcend to that next level, you got to reacclimate yourself. You know what I mean? Right. So like we watched, shout out to Jewell Loyd, right? So we watched her podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to the warehouse.
Like a nice little transition, and just listening to her break down her mindset in high school and college. Mm-hmm. Always knowing that not only am I going to be a professional athlete, I'm going to act like it right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to wait until I am in the league to be in the league. Like, and that makes a difference, but it comes with those role models, right? So she had a great support system that was preparing her for that.
Yeah.
And then when you being mentored by, my GOAT, and I think the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
When you being mentored by Kobe, it
Shout out
just
to Bean. Shout out to the Bean.
that shit hit different. Like, girl, I don't care nothing about this high school shit. Like,
Yeah.
y'all don't care nothing about this smaller stuff.
And one of her coaches, Steve. So shout out to the Warehouse.
Shout out to the
Quick
Warehouse
shout out,
podcast.
quick plug, man. Shout out to the Warehouse podcast, Jewell Loyd and her co-host, Danny.
Facts.
I believe his name is Danny, and then they have Steve on there. So he was saying that he watched her play, and she was like a kid, 14, 15, playing,
serving,
balling. So he already knew. And then when she got older, high school, she said she was playing against players in the W. So she already knew, like, oh yeah, college, I'm gonna go to college because I technically have to go until I'm 21. Till I'm 21. I don't gotta play all 4 years. I just gotta play till I'm 21. Once I'm 21, I'm out of here. So she already had that mentality, playing, at Notre Dame. And then the issues that happened at Notre Dame, which she talked about on the one episode, that kind of hindered her a little bit. But at the end of the day, she's like, man, I'm just waiting until I'm 21 at this point.
I'm just about my time. You know what I mean? I'm just doing my little college bid, like a little jail bid. I'm just gonna do my little 3 years, get on up out of here, man. I ain't trying to make no friends. I ain't trying to rub no elbows. Put me in GP and let me go about my business, man.
Facts.
And that's exactly what she did. And I love to see her in the Aces uniform, but being a fan of the W since the inception of the W, it was hard. It was even hard for me to see her not in a Seattle uniform.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It just was like, damn.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like, they just not they just lost, but they really just lost one of the all-time great Seattle players.
Yeah.
Like, in all of the city of Seattle. Like,
and for the men and women.
Men and women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn. It's just like when we see, now, go back to the NBA, right? We see a player like KD that's just been bouncing around. Yeah. One would argue, if that team never gets sold to move to OKC and all this and all that, that man in Westbrook probably still in Seattle putting up numbers.
Yeah. Maybe even Ray Allen. Maybe even Ray Allen would have.
Maybe even Ray.
Yeah.
But look though, I'm a LeBron fan most times, right?
Yeah.
No Ray in Miami.
Yeah, they wouldn't have won. Ray, they wouldn't have won without Ray.
So I know LeBron that 3 objection.
Yeah.
We not doing that. We need the history to play out the way it plays.
Yeah. You right.
So I was just thinking, like, man, like, shout out to Jewell Loyd. Shout out to, and this is just all the women, especially in the W. We know, like, this ain't an easy league always to play for. It's always a lot going on because it's still a brand. It's still a baby. You know what I mean? It's still a baby, and it's still under the arm of the big dog. You know what I mean? So when you still fighting for your respect, just off of we got game too, that presents another level of I guess tension. You know what I mean? But then when you have a lot of inside turmoil between teams and management, I feel like it gets out. The news gets out a lot more in the W versus in the NBA. Like, we know damn near every franchise in the NBA got their mess.
Yeah.
From top down. But it's so much superstar spotlight that can, like, overshadow the nonsense.
Yeah. Right.
You feel me? Like, I'm from Cleveland. You know what I mean? I'm a Cavs fan. When LeBron got to the Cavs, drafted the Cavs and all that, we knew that this we just prayed that they don't F it up. And they end up effing it up.
Yeah.
They we like, oh God, they're gonna fuck this up. And they did exactly what we thought they did. And then and then the learning happens, and then the people at the top gotta be humbled, and everybody gotta understand that you got your superstars, you got your coaches, and we all gotta do this thing together. Like, it's not gonna be a one person show. And so with that, I like to highlight some of our top teams right now, especially those teams that are winning as a team. You know what I mean? Like, you got your MVPs on that team, but you got your unsung SHEroes on that team, and they are putting together these collective of W's in the W. as a whole unit and not just, you know, a superstar and a couple of others. You feel me? So that being said, I'm gonna go right into one of my favorite teams, and I know one of your favorite teams, Atlanta Dream.
Do it for the dream.
Come on now.
Do it for the dream, man.
So the Commissioner Cup picks up tomorrow, and this episode is probably gonna drop the day the Commissioner Cups pick up on June 6th. Yeah. But Commissioner Cups pick up on June 5th, I'm sorry, but on June 6th, we got Atlanta versus UConn, right?
No, Connecticut. And
why do I always do that? Literally, I always do that.
Yeah, man. And this is gonna be Atlanta's first game in the Commissioner's Cup. This is gonna be Connecticut's second game. They probably don't want to talk about their first game.
No.
They lost by 48.
Bro.
48.
48. You got.
I mean, but what? 48.
Am I seeing that?
48. You know, it was to the Lids. Shout out to the New York Liberty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to the Lids.
Yep.
You know, so they probably definitely want to forget about that.
Yeah.
For me, as far as the dream goes, like I said, this is going to be their first game on Friday in the Commissioner's Cup. Right now they're rolling, man. 4-game winning streak right now. Alicia Gray is balling right now.
Yep.
So I mean, you got Ryan Howard. You know, I love their team. BG. Yeah. You know, I feel like BG was a great pickup for them.
Man, what?
Because she is going to hold down the paint.
Yeah.
And on defense, and then even on offense, she got some game. She got some game to her.
She still got some game left. And you know what? BG, I used to be on BG head. Like I used to be like screaming at the TV at her.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I think, especially after last year and then coming into a brand new system, because that last season was just, I'm just happy to be back in the W. Just get my jersey back
in the country.
You hear me? She like, look, I'm balling for my team.
Right.
Okay, the team I got drafted to.
Right.
They have moved heaven and hell for me.
Yeah.
But I think this fresh start, right? Especially being you BG. Like your lifestyle fits perfectly in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I mean, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It never really made sense, but it is what it is. You get drafted to, you get drafted to.
Mm-hmm,
and she did what she was supposed to do. But in Atlanta, especially having that other big that's known to put up buckets, like BG don't have to be, okay, we need 20 paint points this game, y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody not gonna turn to BG and say, you know, like you gonna give us 16?
Yeah.
No, like whatever she scores really is, in my mind, is really extra.
Yeah.
What you want her to do is be dominant in the paint. However that looks. That can be dominant on the offensive end, or it can be dominant in a defensive end. But her and Bree together.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be good, but I thought that maybe it would clog the paint. Like I thought maybe it would restrict the ball movement. But Bree, she's stepping out to the 3-point line, so I guess you know what I mean. And they trying to get BG to take more 3-point shots. But what's really impressive about BG is her footwork. For the longest, I thought, I feel like she just ain't, like when you Shaq size in the WNBA, all you got to do is body somebody. You know, Shaq used to get the ball and lean. You know what I mean? Like, that's really all she had to do, throw that little elbow, drop step, and then she around you. I mean, you're not bigger than her in height. You're not bigger than her in width. You're not stronger than her. She's just going to move you out the way. But since the league is getting stronger, bigger, and she doesn't have the same speed, I think she's showing that I got footwork though. Like I can hit you with the half turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can still square up to the basket. I can give you a punt, and I can still get to my spots without taking up too much time as well. I think back in the day, she would get the ball and it would be black hole BG. If she get the ball down there, it ain't come back out. It's over with.
Right.
Go down to the other end. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like now I think she has a great amount of confidence and youth around her.
Mhm.
And then having that other big next to her, it's just making her game even more easy because she don't have to do as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you expecting all your points gonna come from B down there, Bree down there, and
Mhm.
then BG. If she give you 10, 12 points a game, shit, that's all you want.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah,
But
from
if she was at Phoenix talking about 10, 12 points a game, girl, you on the bench.
right.
What's wrong with you?
For real.
If it ain't 18 to 22,
Yeah.
you're reeling.
Yeah.
You're wasting
And that might be what it is too. She might not feel as much pressure.
I think that's what it
You
is.
know,
For real.
she might not feel it because you, like you said, they don't need her to really score. Like you said, whatever you get from her on the offensive side, scoring wise, is extra. You know,
Yeah.
of course, we need the rebounds, we need the blocks, we need the disruptions, we need all of that. We need all of that no matter what. But scoring wise, like you said, whatever they give, and she gets to the free throw line because they can't block her shot.
Yeah, because the size alone, and then like if she get the offensive rebound, you don't have either you're going to foul her or is that just an easy 2 points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily, she's at the place in her career where you don't necessarily have to draw up a play for her. But if you want to slow the pace down, because a lot of times I think their guards, because they missing a point guard, right? Mm-hmm. Jordan, I don't think she played a game this season, has she? Jordan, Canada?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So
not playing either.
They starting point guard is gone, right? Yeah. They saying I don't know when they said she was supposed to be out May 22nd. Supposed to be back May 22nd, but she ain't been back. So maybe she'll be at the first Commissioner's Cup game.
Maybe Friday. Yeah, maybe Friday.
That'll be a great team to get your rhythm back.
Man, crazy.
That's good. Crazy. So like when you got these guards around you, you got Allisha Gray, you got Ryan Howard, and they also these are also two players that dominate in the 3-on-3 type of system, right? Yeah. So regardless of what starting five they got out there in Atlanta, they really only focused on three players really in the offense. Those other two players are either cutting or setting screens or posted up for the, the swing three, but they not really in the offense.
Right.
And so when you got Bree Jones out there and you got Allisha Gray and Ryan Howard, even if you got BG just gotta wait for the offensive rebound, dog. We don't need you. Just come down, set a screen, and then let the rest of them do everything. And if somebody get double, depending on who cooking, somebody might get double.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Allisha Gray was the player of the week. Player of the month for the East. So I'm sure coming soon in when they play Connecticut, I'm sure Allisha Gray is gonna be the one getting the doubles.
Yeah. She might get 30, man. She might get 30, man.
They lost by 48. Now, see, the thing about it is, okay, I'm a Cavs fan, right?
48
and we got embarrassed by Indiana.
Yeah.
There was a point in game 4 that I think we were down by like 50 points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all are disgusting.
Yeah.
But we only, at the end of the game box score, we only lost by like 22.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they cleaned your clock, but that's more respectful.
Yeah.
Than 40 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
At this point, everybody on the team got the
flu? Yeah. Yeah, man, the Liberty, man, and they had more points in like the first half than Connecticut did in like 3 quarters or something crazy like that, bro. It was bad. It was bad, man. It was bad.
So based on what you've seen thus far, I mean, the season is still pretty early. I think we've only played 10 games so far, 8 games so far. Where we at?
Like
I think we're playing 7 games so far.
7 or 8, yeah.
Whether it's on the East or the West, who do you think is the player that should be getting more recognition for what they're doing on the court? Whether that's they're dominating on the defensive side, they got steals, they on the glass, whatever. The hustle is out the out the gym, who do you think, you could name anybody, who do you think should be getting more recognition for what they're doing in their respective area?
Man, like you said, it is still early. And I've been debating this the last couple of days, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm just really impressed with Ari McDonald. I mean, I know it was only one game.
Yeah.
I know it was only one game, but like I said, I feel like going into the season, right? Going into the season, a lot of people had Indiana as going to be top 5 seeding, right?
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs. With those 2 injuries, they could easily be out of playoff contention and then do after what they did last year of like fight. Like they made the playoffs, but it took the last week to even make it to the playoffs. But I feel like with Ari, she's going to keep them right there. Like she's not a shooter, but she literally is doing everything else but shooting.
But she is a shooter.
She is a shooter, but
she just didn't hit them shots. But if that baby get turned on from that three,
yeah. And this is with her not doing that yesterday. She shot some, but she missed more than she made. But it like you said, if she get hot, it's over.
Because she can, and this is when you know you have a real professional. When you also have somebody that loves the game, is that they can figure out a way to impact the game in any way. Mm-hmm. It don't have to be, I'm gonna give you 12 points. And I guess that's what somebody like a Sydney Colson is good for, right?
Yeah.
She can impact the game and it don't have to be shown on the stat line. Mm-hmm. And so for that sake, you know what I mean? I believe, like you said, when the players come back, Ari McDonald, they need to figure something out. They need to call Halliburton to say, yo, we need $100,000 real quick because we got to give this girl a contract, like, period. And that's what I learned. Like, so a hardship contract is really permission to go above your salary cap. Mm-hmm. It's less of an additional player, but it's the league granting you the permission to spend more money. Mm. And that being said, like, if the teams want to spend the money, you feel me? Let them spend it. Like, remember when the Liberty got, popped in the mouth a little bit from the W because they had charter flights and nobody else had it?
Right.
And it's like, well, if we got investors, y'all need to work on getting y'all investors.
That's not, right.
Well, you got to ride the bus because y'all broke. Like, my mama's picking me up from school. My mama told you to walk. That's on you and your mom.
That's on you and your mom.
Right. Don't penalize the school. Like,
right.
You feel me? So
I ain't like that. Yeah, I definitely ain't like that.
I don't like that. And I think that, like we said, like, and again, that's going back to what you said, some of the things that we want to see in the league. One of the things is more roster spots. And that shout out to Candace Parker. Like, she said that, again, when she was on ESPN talking about her book drop, talking about her jersey being retired. Shout out to Candace Parker. Okay, we're going to get into her when we start talking about our GOAT talk.
The can do.
But she said, like, one of the things that they can change and affect the game right now today is additional roster spots. Mm-hmm. And being creative, because I think the WNBA as a league in itself, they do try to think outside the box a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not a traditional, it's not as traditional as the NBA, where you know what it is. And, NBA got 50 years in the game. So like they kind of weeded out a lot of things besides the All-Star game. You know exactly what's going to happen in this new NC tournament, right?
Yeah.
What the W is like, y'all can be creative. Y'all can have spaces for 15 players, but not all 15 dress. You can only say we got space for 15 players because y'all can afford to pay 15 women. Mm-hmm. But only 11 players dress and get suited up for the game. Right? Mm-hmm. You only would allot spaces for those other 4 people for injuries. Mm-hmm. So that gives you, in my mind, that gives you a little bit to say, all right, we gonna pay you if you are those 4 extra players. Like, consider it like a G League. We gonna pay you to learn the system, be a part of our practices, come to training camp, you're not gonna get paid with Jackie Young getting paid.
Right.
But you're gonna get a paycheck, right? And it could be we pay you $3,000, $4,000 a month to train, practice, plus room and board, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, right? And that's somebody's regular wage. Like if you got a college degree, and all these ladies, 90% of these ladies got college degrees, unless you like Jewell Loyd and said, you know what, I'm out junior year, I'm gonna do what I do.
Right.
Everybody else got a degree or they came from overseas.
You're right.
And usually if you come from overseas, you probably already got that paperwork anyway. You know what I mean? They be graduating when they be like 12 and 13.
No, they really do though. They be professionals at 15. Like it's crazy.
Shout out to that European education because we thrashed over here. We got it take us a long time to get some smarts. So
they still don't even get it.
And no, be dumb as a box of rocks. But look though, so if you had 11 players, like these are 11 players that suit up every single game, from your Asia all the way down to your Sydney Colson.
Right.
And then you got those 4 people like your Ari McDonald, you know what I mean? For a while, Odyssey Sims. Remember, Odyssey Sims had to earn her way.
Yeah.
She was getting laid off every year from we got a 2-week, 3-week hardship contract, or they assign her the last 6 weeks of the season because somebody got injured.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't on the team. Now imagine if going into the season, I'm on this team. I'm not playing these games because of nobody's injured. But if somebody do get injured, I don't have to learn the playbook.
Right.
I don't have to learn personnel. You know what I mean? I'm out here balling. Because if I'm not doing this, what am I doing?
Right.
And then I think it gives you, it doesn't put the bad taste in women's mouth like Diamond DeShield, who gets cut the day before the season starts.
Yeah.
Or Haley Jones, who gets cut literally the day before the season starts.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me they've been starters in this league for 3 to 5 years? Starters, not just coming off. Diamond DeShield's got a championship with Chicago.
Yeah.
And so, and I know injuries, made it kind of like probably left bad taste in people's mouths because sometimes she just can't stay healthy. But don't fault me because when I'm healthy, what I can bring to a team. So it just allowed me to stick around the team and learn the system and continue to build the camaraderie. So when my jersey, my number do get called, you ain't got to look through the free agent pool. Like, oh, let me see who, you know what I mean? I feel like they treat this shit like college, like transfer portal and stuff. Like, like let them be with the team and treat them like a G League team and that you call up. You know what I mean? Like the Cavs, everybody in the NBA got a G League team, right?
Yeah.
So when times do get really rough and you don't want to pay nobody, but not for real, you don't want to make no real trades.
Yeah, some shorts.
But you got such and such down there that my point guard just went down. I just need somebody to bring the ball down the court and got some little defense. I don't need you to be doing else.
Right.
Don't think this your chance to just bring the ball down, set up the play.
Right.
Set the play up, bro.
Right.
And I feel like there has to be space there. There's so many people that's dumping money. You hear about Janet Jackson?
No, what's not what happened?
Janet Jackson is now like I think a minority owner of the Aces, or a huge investor. So let me just
and I know last year, and it was an issue. They got some backlash too. The Aces, they got like a huge endorsement / sponsorship last year, and they caused some backlash with that. And then those same people, they donated some more money this year. They said, "Oh, yeah, I had a problem with that. Oh, here goes some more." But again, like you were saying, that's not the player's fault. That's not the team's fault that somebody is seeing something in the franchise that said, "Hey, I want to get them $500,000. I want to get them $2 million." That's why not? Yeah. And
I think they had a huge sponsorship from like their Las Vegas like attractions. You know what I mean? Like. I gotta get the actual name, but exactly what you said. They like, okay, so y'all was mad at us last year, but y'all ain't really like discipline us.
Yeah, because so only so much they probably could do for real. I mean, I don't know the exact laws or rules when it comes to that, but I mean, they still did it.
And each player Each player, and the money only goes to the players.
Right.
It don't go to the coaches, nothing.
So that's like a sponsorship, and that's why I feel like, you know, they were able to get away with that to a certain extent too, because that's just like, hey, if I sign an endorsement deal with, you know, a brand, Gatorade, a makeup Finny, or any makeup Mac, or a fragrance or whatever it is, or a nail sponsorship, like, that's my money.
Exactly.
So, but all they did was they just endorsed the whole team, all of the players. They didn't pick one player. They like, oh, all 11 of y'all gonna get this money.
Exactly. And I feel like actually especially for teams who are in cities where the NBA also exists, right? Like Dallas.
Yeah.
All of those teams, New York. Yeah. I feel like your major player, because all NBA teams, they starting five. Everybody on that starting five making $20 million a year. Everybody.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Easy.
I feel like the team itself, because the NBA, it should be the NBA's responsibility to big up the WNBA. This is a part of your product.
Right.
The better the W looks, the better the NBA looks.
Right.
So I feel like if I'm, especially, okay, let's go to New York. We can go talk about New York and talk about the Cavs.
Yeah.
If I'm Jared Allen, right? I'm the dude. I'm for the Cavs, right? I'm the dude every year that the whole city be like, trade this fool. Right. We tired of him.
Right.
Every time it get to the time, he too tired. He too hurt. The light's too bright.
Right.
It's too much.
Right.
I feel like as a collective, you got 5 men that's starting, and all of collectively combined, they gonna make $400 million this season.
Yeah. One season. That's
all of y'all,
crazy.
all the way down to the bench, can't chalk up 50 G's
to
sponsor a player on the team.
Right.
Like, the sponsorships don't need to come outside of the NBA when you got people on the court. It's bums that's making $18 million a season.
True.
And I'll be confused, like, hold on. Like A'ja Wilson said, like, I have dog half of y'all niggas in here.
Yeah.
Like, half of the power forwards in the NBA won't stand a chance against us.
Yeah.
And this power forwards, like, okay, Tristan Thompson is in the league for a veteran minimum.
Yeah.
And he will be the highest paid WNBA athlete by 5.
That's crazy.
And he don't even touch the court.
He don't even, right. Crazy.
So you mean it? So the money is there, because if the money wasn't there, a team like the Charlotte Hornets would not exist anymore, because they don't win nothing, never.
Right.
But the team's evaluation is still high because it's still an NBA team, and people still come out, spend money, and they got a lot of sponsorship, right? So it should just be 1 or 2 players. If y'all love the game, because you love the game, right? Like Coco Gauff then invested into Unrivaled because she loved the game of basketball. She don't even play it.
She don't even play, right?
So if you play the game and ball is really life, how you ain't got $50,000 you could say,
and you could probably write that off. I'm assuming you could write that off. Like, come on now.
On charity, like, if you donate to United Way and Red Cross, then donate to the W.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's a league now. It's not a non-profit organization. But if you are sponsoring a player, just like NBA athletes, they got their own AAU teams and this, that, and the third. You spent that money on that.
Right.
You gave your old alma mater high school, you know, what KD do for his people in Washington. Like, everybody is philanthropists until it comes to the W. Feel me? Like, everybody want to spend their money until it actually come time to put your money where your mouth is. Don't just show up to my game when you know niggas is broke for real. Like, don't just pull up and say, yeah, I got some autographed shoes for you, nigga. No, I need $100,000. I need $100,000 because if I get injured this year, that's it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So unless you like, shout out to Angel Reese, right? Unless you like an Angel Reese who she getting money all around the clock in 50-11 ways.
Yeah.
And she ain't got to buy, at this point, if Angel Reese don't play basketball no more, she's still going to get paid because of her branding.
Yeah.
And as a woman athlete, especially in the W, if you don't have a strong brand, all your money is just wrapped up on what you can do on the court. So, and if you like an introvert, it's hard to have a strong
It's
brand.
hard. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
It's just real hard because like I'm not about to be posting my tunnel fits and I don't care about all that. You know what I mean? I'm a blue collar, just come here to work.
I just want to work, right?
I just want to work. You know what I mean? Like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is the perfect example of motherfucker ain't got no brand. He signed a New Balance, but ain't nobody jumping out the gym talking about something. Let me get the Kawhi Leonard. Let me get them quads in the size 10, bro.
Yeah, like, let me get them quads. Let me get them claws. Let me get them claws.
If you pull up to the court outside the rec and you got them quads on, you might not get
no Kawhi.
You're like, if somebody see you with the lime green, the Kobe Jones, you know what I'm saying, with the little reptile, you like, oh, that motherfucker he probably got game.
Yeah.
You pull up in them New Balance, you like, oh, he got plantar fasciitis.
He planted New Balances, and they got a couple people too though. I think they got Tyrese Maxey. You know what I mean? So they got some players. Got
some people. Like, they got Darius Garland. They got Jamal Murray. Like they got some people that can give you buckets. That really got game. You know what I mean? So
it just look crazy going to the court in some New Balances.
You just look crazy.
Yeah, you just look crazy.
Like you just like. Oh, I wanted to tell you because I think we're gonna wrap it up here shortly, but I think this is a great thing since we're talking about sneakers, right? So I just learned that with the W, they have with their CBA contract, unless you have a shoe deal, you gotta wear Nike.
You gotta wear Nike. You gotta wear Nike. Yup. I was just reading that yesterday actually. Yup. You gotta have Nike, and then even if you do got. And this is crazy too. Even if you do have your own shoe deal, it's something called like a visible clause or whatever, to where if it's Adidas, if you have your own logo could show with no problem.
Yeah.
But the Reebok logo can't really show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gotta probably be under the shoe or you're not probably inside.
Or they make it the same color as the shoe. So it don't
so you can't really see
out.
it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if you get a deal during the season, you still gotta wear Nike.
Yeah, you gotta wait till next year.
The season with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like, and I wonder why somebody like Kiki, and it's a couple of them that sign Skechers deals during like, right around March Madness. I'm like, damn, why you ain't wait till you at least get to the W? You might want a different, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you don't sign it now, you're gonna be stuck in them Nikes.
Yeah.
Probably till 2030 for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
You're gonna be stuck, and you won't be able to even have an opportunity to get the bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and then they probably like ain't too many people got Skechers. Let me go with Skechers. Angel Reese, Reebok. Reebok ain't really been popular since back in the day with Above the Rims. With Baron Davis, B Diddy, and all of them back in the day. So you got Shaq. You got Shaq. That's Reebok, but so they probably just like, I'm gonna just go to where the money at right now.
Yeah.
And that's what we said. We got to go with right now. Right now, I don't know what her endorsement deal is, but it's money. Like I'm gonna take this money. Okay, so, she ain't like a like I said, I don't know the contract, but I could highly imagine that none of them. Well, not gonna say none of them, but she's not like signed for life, like how Bron is signed, like how Bron is signed with. He got a lifetime $1 billion contract with Nike. Yeah. Kobe, same thing. Yeah. Same thing with Steph for Under Armour. It's not probably. Asia. She probably don't got a lifetime, but she probably good with her Nike. Sabrina,
and she got her own logo.
And she got her own logo. Yeah.
So like Sabrina got a Nike, but Sabrina don't got her own logo.
She got PEs. Yeah, she's got PEs.
She pretty much got the old Kyrie Jones for real.
Yeah, yeah.
Soon as Nike and Kyrie had their little beef, they say, all right, we're gonna get a Kyrie to Sabrina. That's how we gonna do that. Bye, Kai. Come on, Sabrina.
Right.
But yeah, like, so shout out to the W. Hey, so appreciate y'all and everybody for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Lens TV, Her Court, Her Rules, featuring my guy Hussle, representing New York, represent upstate, representing that big Buffalo. Tune in next week. We're going to wrap up with the Commissioner's Cup, continue that conversation, continue our GOAT talk, where every week we feature a GOAT, my GOAT, your GOAT, his GOAT, a GOAT. Okay? Doesn't matter the position, doesn't matter the team, doesn't matter the era. As long as it's in the W, we gonna talk about it right here on Beyond the Lens TV. Again, appreciate everybody supporting the W, supporting women's sports, and supporting the evolution of the game. This is Najah Lee. This is Beyond the Lens TV. Her court, her rules. See y'all next week. Peace and freedom.